If you've ever wondered why your hair sometimes feels dry even after moisturizing, or why some products seem to sit on your hair instead of soaking in, it's not just about the products you're using, it's about your hair's density, your hair strand thickness, and porosity. So today I'm breaking down exactly how our Hair We Gro butters work differently for fine and coarse hair, and how to use them the right way for your hair type to get real lasting results. So let's get into it. Okay, so as mentioned in part 1 of this video, when it comes to using our hair butters, not only do we have to consider your hair strand thickness or your hair texture, which is the same thing, but we also have to take into account your hair's density. So if you haven't seen the previous video, then definitely go ahead and check the cards above as well as in the description bar below to understand how your hair's density affects your hair care routine. And also go ahead and check out the video where I discussed your strand's thickness and its relation to your hair's porosity. Okay, so now that you understand how your hair's density, your hair strand thickness, and your hair's porosity impacts your hair care routine and the products you use, let's discuss how moisturizing butters like our Hair We Gro butters benefit your specific hair texture, whether it's coarse or fine, and also how best to use our products as part of your regular hair care routine. Okay, so let's start off by discussing how our hair butters benefit thick or coarse hair strands and why they're ideal for those with this hair texture to include them in your hair's routine. Now, as mentioned in my previous video on hair texture or strand thickness, those who have thicker hair strands, their main focus will be on moisture balance. So using emollient-rich products like our hair butter will be very beneficial for your hair texture, as thicker or coarse hair have more cuticle layers per hair strand, which makes it stronger. So focusing on moisture balance and moisture retention will help to maintain that moisture and protein balance to prevent the hair from being too rigid, which can lead to breakage, because once again, a lot of protein can lead to breakage. Now, due to the formulation of our products and the emollient-rich composition of the butters like shea butter and cocoa butter, as well as the blend of thick, nourishing oils like castor oil, our hair butter is particularly effective at sealing in hydration and preventing moisture loss by providing a protective barrier against environmental stressors like the weather, i.e. the sun, i.e. the cold, as we've discussed in previous videos. Now, if you haven't seen my previous videos discussing how the weather affects our hair, then go ahead and check the cards above as well as the description bar below. However, as it pertains to coarse hair strands, they are more prone to friction related damage, split ends, and weather induced dryness. So the occlusive nature of our formulation not only forms a protective layer over the hair, shielding it from like the elements and such, but it also helps to keep the hair hydrated for a longer period of time, providing long-lasting moisture retention. Now, considering that coarser textured hair has more cuticle layers, which makes it naturally stronger, rougher, and stiffer, the emollients in our butter not only create a protective barrier preventing moisture loss, but they also help to soften and smooth the cuticles, which reduce brittleness and enhances manageability of the hair. So it helps to take away some of that edge. Okay, so with the hair not being brittle, this reduces the chance of breakage while improving the hair's elasticity. And once again, that's thanks to our butter's ability to sealing in the water content from water-based moisturizers or just using plain old water. So this makes the hair more resistant to snapping under tension from styling, braiding, or general manipulation. So if you have coarse or thick hair, rest assured that our Hair We Gro products is ideal for your hair, as they address your hair's main challenges, which are moisture retention, breakage prevention, and long-term hydration. So you definitely want to get your hands on our Hair We Gro butters. Okay, so now that we've discussed how our hair butters benefit thick or coarse hair strands, let's take a look at how they can still benefit finer hair strands and also work for finer hair strands as well. Alright, so even though fine hair strands have a smaller diameter and may get weighed down more easily, our hair butter can still be beneficial for use on fine hair because they have been whipped. Now, because they've been whipped, the whipping introduces air into the butter, making it lighter and fluffier, which helps to reduce the heaviness that raw butters and thick oils can sometimes have on fine hair strands. However, when using the butters on your fine hair, this should be used more sparingly in comparison to how it is to be used and applied to thicker or coarser hair. Now, when it is being used in moderation, our butters offer several advantages for fine hair strands, such as being a lightweight sealant without overwhelming the hair. So because it's whipped, the butter is more aerated and separable, making it easier to apply in small amounts. And that's how I apply it to my hair as well. So fine hair strands can still benefit from the moisture sealing properties of shea butter and castor oil without feeling greasy. And as we know, fine hair strands have fewer cuticle layers, making it much more vulnerable to dryness and breakage, especially at the ends. So using our butters help to reduce moisture loss without overloading the hair by locking in hydration and preventing excessive dryness. So make sure you are focusing on your ends as well. Also, considering how delicate fine hair strands are, our butters helps with strengthening and protecting fragile hair strands, particularly under mechanical stress such as combing, styling, or tension from braids or twists, by improving its elasticity and reinforcing its structure and reducing its risk of breakage. Now, fine textured hair may sometimes struggle to hold styles because it lacks density in the hair strand itself, making it weak, which is why it won't hold styles for a long time. However, with certain styles like twist outs and braid outs, our butters can help to enhance curl definition and set styles without excessive stiffness, especially when combined with a light styling product. And lastly, it helps prevent frizz without weighing the hair down, as the occlusive properties of our butters create a light humidity barrier, keeping styles smoother for longer. Once again, when it comes to using these butters on fine hair strands, you want to use it sparingly to avoid product buildup or heaviness. So using a pea-sized amount per section rather than coating the hair liberally is highly recommended. Just make sure that you're emulsifying it in your hands or between your fingers first, allowing it to melt slightly before applying it to prevent over application, because again, we don't want to weigh it down. Additionally, you want to focus on the ends, which tend to be the driest and most prone to damage. Also, when using these products, you want to apply it to damp or wet hair, allowing the moisture to absorb before sealing in the butter. So you can also consider pairing it with a lightweight leave-in conditioner to balance moisture without overloading the strands. But once again, you want to also consider your hair's density to avoid overloading the hair with products, which can weigh the hair down if you have medium to low density. And for fine textured hair, I would recommend using it mainly for protective styles or as a nighttime moisture sealant rather than daily use, because once again, we do not want to weigh down the hair. Now, if you overuse the products on fine hair, this can cause greasiness or product buildup if too much is applied, which is why you should use small amounts per section, only on the mid-lengths to the ends. And also, using too much at a time can weigh down looser curl patterns or finer strands if used excessively. So our butters are still a great option for fine textured hair, but the key is the application method. So using less product and focusing on the ends and pairing it with lightweight moisture, a lightweight moisture source is recommended instead of using heavier moisturizers and stuff like that, because again, as we're talking about fine hair strands, we do not want to weigh it down, but we still want to protect the hair and seal in hydration, because this hair type is so much more prone to drying out and breaking off. So once again, I do use these products on my medium to fine hair strands, as well as I believe I have medium density, and I can attest to the fact that if I use too much, my hair can feel weighed down. So you definitely want to work with like smaller amount, pea-sized amount. I'll definitely go ahead and link a video above here for you to check out how I personally use it on my hair strands. With that said, I hope you guys found today's video very informative, and if you did, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I want to hear you guys' thoughts on what I have to say in the comments below, so make sure to leave me a comment so I can read it and we can have a conversation. So until next time, I'll be right back here with another one.